God made his decision, so we spend another day. Whoever you believe in, whoever makes you pray, give thanks, we still have time, make amends and get it right.
You're just listening to Paula Boggs, singer-songwriter. There's a lot more than that. What was the song we were listening to?
It was the title song of our new album, Paula Boggs Band's new album, Carnival of Miracles.
It was Carnival of Miracles.
That's it.
Yeah. Carnival of Miracles. What does it mean?
You know, Steve, life has its ups and downs, and I'm not immune to that. I've had the highs of the highs and the lows of the lows, and that's life. And so, given where I am in life as a boomer, I couldn't think of a better metaphor than Carnival of Miracles.
You've had one of the most fascinating careers. And I've been doing this for just a few years, and I've had some fascinating people sit in that seat. I was sitting there going, she's an Army brat.
Yes.
Veteran paratrooper. And she goes on, she becomes one of the top lawyer for Starbucks, and she reports directly to Chairman and CEO of Starbucks, Howard Schultz. And after an extraordinary career there of about 10 years,
Yes.
you decide, hey, I'm at the top of my game. I think I want to do something else.
Yes.
I need to do something else.
I need to.
Need to? Not
Need
want to?
Need to.
What was it?
Yeah.
Create music?
Yeah, well, you know, the bigger need was what I call being CEO of my life. And what I mean by that is starting a chapter, and I'm in this chapter, of doing work that feeds my soul. And so, you know, after 30 years of law and business and a military career, as you referenced.
By the way, go back. Military career was working with the White House.
Yes.
Working at the Pentagon.
Yes.
So.
Jumping out of planes.
Yeah, jumping out of plane. So, I mean, you've done it at the highest level at everything you have done. Who's that guy? Your picture right there?
The current president.
The commander-in-chief.
The commander-in-chief.
So here's my point.
President Obama.
So how is it that these other things that you've done at the top of your game, that they are not your true north?
You know, I'm a very mission-driven person, Steve, and if you look at the variety of things I've done in my life, the seed that ties most of them together is, you know, I've got to be doing something that matters, not just to me, but hopefully to other people, to society. So, you know, whether it was being, you know, an Army officer, or I was a federal prosecutor for 5 years, or, you know, working for a company like Starbucks, which, you know, it doesn't get it right all the time, but it really aspires to do the right thing every time as a corporate citizen. You know, those are, you know, mission-driven values that speak to me deeply. In this chapter, though, I really wanted to be, you know, purely entrepreneurial about it. And so for me, that meant putting together a system of things that spoke to me deeply, but could also hopefully make a difference in my community and society. And so the thing with music for me is such an amazing vehicle for all of that, because I have to play. There's a physical compulsion that drives me to write music and perform it. We say that our music is music that matters, hopefully, and whether it's Carnival of Miracles.
You write about Sandy Hook.
I do.
The horrific
yes,
incident in Sandy Hook.
I do.
Why?
I was incredibly moved by the Sandy Hook story on many levels. I was moved because later in life I became a parent myself, and I was on that path to becoming a parent, the legal guardian of my now 12-year-old niece. Even at the time of Sandy Hook, she was a being very important to me. But the Sandy Hook tragedy also happened at a time when there was a lot of conversation in the media around the end of the world. And so it was
the
really...
end of the world was coming.
That the end of the world was coming. And so it really was the combination of the Newtown tragedy coupled with this conversation that led me to write Carnival of Miracles.
But what's interesting, as you talk about, the lyrics are one thing.
Yeah.
The powerful nature of those miracles, talking about current events is such a cliche way to describe it. Things that are going on in the world that matter in our lives. But your musical influences, the artists, Ella Fitzgerald,
Yeah.
Bill Withers,
Yes.
Neil Young.
Yes.
It was the Neil Young that threw me off. There was a pattern that I saw here, and then I saw Neil Young. Very eclectic, and soul grass is how you describe your music. Please
Yes.
explain.
Yes. So
You could have just said R&B, but it's not.
it really isn't.
Because I'm listening, I'm going, that's not. It's not Ella Fitzgerald, but there are influences from all over. What? Well, explain.
Yes, Leonard Cohen is another
Leonard Cohen.
influence, and
You're going all the way back to the 1960s folk, right? The whole-
Yes, absolutely. And I think maybe
You're a step away from James Taylor. Go ahead.
Yes, one way perhaps to, make sense of it is, my dad was Roman Catholic and my mom was African Methodist Episcopal. So, every other week I'd be
AME.
AME, and every other week I'd be Roman Catholic. And so this was, at a time when, folk music and the folk mass was coming of age. I was in Catholic school,
Same here.
and the nuns were singing and playing Peter, Paul, and Mary, and Simon and Garfunkel and whatnot.
That folk thing got you.
Oh yeah, the folk thing got me, but also the gospel thing got me. And so
Mahalia Jackson?
Yes, Mahalia Jackson. The staple singers.
So all that's going on for you.
All of that is going on for me, and and then my mom did something really wacky when I was 13. She took us out of the segregated South and we moved to Europe, and so at age 13 I started getting exposed to classical music and jazz and other forms of music that really hadn't been part of my background up to that point. And so, all of that comes together. And when you say Neil Young, Heart of Gold was, one of the first records I got to buy myself. So,
It might have been 1971. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there you go. So there you have it.
Date. Okay. By the way, real quick before I let you out of here, could we show some video of a Carnival of Miracles being made? How long a period did it take for you to do this?
It actually took a couple years to make this record.
A couple years.
A couple years. We recorded it or a version of it in 2013, and then we re-recorded many parts of it in 2014.
The album, is
Yeah.
called Carnival of Miracles, and Paula Boggs. Listen, I'm glad for everything you did at Starbucks because it's still my favorite place to go in the morning. No plug or commercial. But I'm even happier that you are following what you have to do as an artist, but more importantly as a person. And we wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay. Stay with us. We're right back right after this.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Investors Bank, NJIT, New Jersey Institute of Technology, New Jersey Natural Gas, MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey, New Jersey Sharing Network, Cone Resnick, and by the Russell Berry Foundation. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.